Hey there, crew. It's Mark from MENWHOBULLET. Thanks for coming to hang out. We're just going to be doing and kicking right into it. This is going to be the live reaction. So Bonnie from Archer and Olive just released the unveiling of the September subscription box. I just got my email the other day that it's on its way, but I can't wait. I love to spoil myself. So let's go ahead and check this out together, and we'll live react to the unveiling of the September subscription box.
I'm so excited to do the Archer and Olive subscription box unboxing video. This is my favorite box yet, and it's not just because I say that every time. It's because the team has elevated everything, and it's amazing. Here's Olive. Hey, Olive, what do you think? She gave it 5 stars. So let's go ahead and dive in. Well, actually, the first thing I want to talk about is the packaging change.
That's nice.
The theme here is Enchanted Forest, and so the team and I really wanted to work on designing packaging that aligned with that as well. And so we're doing something a little bit new this time. Very cool. Love it, love it, love it. This box also has more items, I think, than we've ever done before. So I can't wait to get in and show you.
Let's get it going. Oh, a flower press.
First of all, look at this. There's so many things in here. And all of the colors are just beautiful.
Oh, we're just going to pause right there. So this is the first time we've actually seen like everything in the box. They put out a picture the other day, but crossed out the wooden ruler, crossed out the flower press. And there's a few other things inside of here too. There was a wooden box that we saw too. And then it looks like down here it says ink pad. So ooh, more stamps, more stamps. Let's check it out.
And very fall and everything that I love, very vintage. So I want to show you some of the really cool items that everyone's decided should go in the box this time. The first thing we're going to look at is these translucent stickers, and the packaging on these is that alone. I just want this envelope and I want to stick it in my notebook. But let's take a look at these stickers. And the reason they're translucent is when you put them in your notebook, they're really designed to kind of go in there just like watercolor would. They're perfect. You can put them in your notebook. You can put them on any kind of craft project that you're doing. The next item in here, and by the way, can we talk about how exciting this packaging is? I don't think there's ever been a box with packaging more beautiful. The team did such a good job putting it all together. There's a beautiful ruler, which I love to use as a flat edge. And this one is made of wood, so it doesn't damage my fine tip pen when I use it, versus sometimes the metal ones will because they have such a sharp edge.
I'll just pause right there. So that's kind of cool. So we've seen a lot of different rulers from Archer and Olive, right? Everyone always talks about the plastic one that I use all the time. We've seen them start to convert into metal. So this will be the first time we've seen that's wooden like this. It looks pretty cool. It has a, very floral design. It matches with the rest of the set here. So it's interesting because in my video where I talked about like things I thought were coming, we talked a lot about more sustainable packaging, and it looks like perhaps in this case even more sustainable materials themselves, so using this type of wood instead of plastics and things like that. So it's kind of neat. It'll be interesting to get that in my hands and actually try it out, and definitely don't put a blade up against it. I would ruin this ruler.
It's just got a thicker edge there, so it's not going to damage your pen as much, and yet it's not something like paper or plastic. It's going to hold up really well. It also measures in centimeters because that's how the dots are measured.
Oh, so yeah, so most of the dot grids are going to be 5 millimeters. So that's neat that she's done that, because this ruler can then be used to kind of break down, instead of maybe doing how many squares, maybe converting these to millimeters instead. I've never thought about it that way.
Oh, and of course it has this beautiful edge on the side, which you could even trace this to create maybe some kind of Dutch door. The acrylographs are beautiful, vintage-inspired colors. These are new colors, I believe. I'll let you take a look.
It's hard to tell what's a new color now. There's so many.
So pretty.
Hopefully we get names on them.
I've been messing with them all week, and I can't wait to show you some of the spreads that I've already created with them. Something unusual in this box that is going to be a huge hit, because I haven't seen a lot of people do this, and my mom used to do this when we were little, and it's a really beautiful, wonderful thing to do. And it's the flower press, and so it's kind of like you can go back to nature and the natural world And first of all, if you need instructions on how to use it, you can scan this QR code.
That will be me. I will need instructions. I've never
By
done
the
this
way, I
before.
never thought we'd include QR codes on stuff, but seeing how well people have adapted this past year to using QR codes, that's such a nifty way to get information across.
That's neat. I will
If you
definitely know how
haven't
this
used a
thing
flower
works.
press before, you should definitely check out some images of what it can do, but it preserves flowers, and not just flowers, things like leaves. So if you see, you know, when the leaves start to change and they change to yellow and red, and you want to preserve some of those beautiful colors, especially if you like to travel, and if you're doing any traveling this fall and going anywhere to see the leaves change colors, find a few on the ground and put them in the flower press.
I've never used a flower press before. This is really cool to see. I didn't know. This is one of the things like no one was talking about or knew that we're in here. So it'll be cool to do. And definitely from a stationary perspective, right? Like we're not seeing stuff like this. This is why I love subscription boxes, because as cool as it is to get the notebooks and the other stationery, and like I'm sure there's washi in here too and all of that, like this is something super special. Like that's not something I would necessarily go out and buy for myself, but works so nicely inside of just this entire kit. That's so cool.
And you can put them in your notebook. So I'm going to be showing a few examples on how I do that in mine. This is finished. It has a really beautiful gold finishing on top. It's hard to capture that in video.
Packaging's really nice.
Absolutely perfect. Oh man, it gets better and better. The washi tape.
Always washi now. I feel like that's all we ever see.
I love the colors. They kind of go with the theme. And of course, if you bought anything from the fall collection, they'll blend in nicely with the fall collection as well. And if you didn't, that's okay. They go well with, you know, any one of the notebooks.
So more washi. I think this is just going to always be a constant. There'll always be washi. People love washi. I personally just, I'm really trying hard to find ways to use my washi, and I can never like exactly figure it out. So more washi for my daughters.
Designs. Okay, something else that's new in this box, and
Vintage ribbons. I saw these ribbons a lot during the previews, and I'm very curious to see what she says. Like, how would we even use ribbons like this? I'm very, very curious.
And you see, we are not done yet. It gets better and better and better and better. This makes the box extra special. This was a very special item that the art department, the designers really wanted to include, and it is so lovely. So the idea being, you can use this hand-dyed ribbon for anything really, but look, it comes on that wooden spool, and it's really elevated and so natural and so beautiful. So basically, the idea being you can make a bouquet and press your bouquet in the flower press and tie it together with this ribbon, and you can put it in your book, or you can make cards, or you can do anything with it. You can keep it in your house. There's so many uses for this ribbon. I think the colors are lovely. And
sorry to make those faces. I'm like, I don't know what I would use these ribbon for. So I'm hoping that somebody in my family has an idea of what they might use them for. They're cool. I can see a lot of people using these for like aesthetic flat lays. Like those would be nice to kind of have around if that's your vibe. I know that not every box is made for everyone. I know that not every box is like made for my style. So I've already fully accepted that, right? But this is like another thing inside of there that like, I'm not going to use. Let's be honest.
Soft. I don't want to even untie them. They're absolutely perfect. You can cut it. The frayed edge looks so nice and natural. Okay, probably my very, very, very
What's it say?
favorite thing in the box. My
Show me
favorite
what it
thing in the
says.
box. There's so many great things in the box. Da-da-da-da. What is this?
What is it?
It looks kind of like our watercolor box, but it's not. They are vintage out.
Yes. Oh my gosh, my predictions video. I wasn't expecting these type of stamps. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for these. They look so cool. Sans serif. Oh, yes.
Alphabet stamps. Look at this. You can use these over and over again. These are such high quality.
In one of my videos that's coming up later this week, I talked about these new ones that I got from Sammy, which are the number ones, and these click together. Like, these are really nice. They're beautiful. Love them. So excited about them. Yay. Because I was going to potentially get some alphabet ones for myself because I see a lot of people using them. They look nice. They're easy to kind of put together and use. So excited that I don't have to buy them now. They already come as a part of this.
I love that. And it comes with this ink pad, which is kind of like a sepia toned, I would say.
I always love when they include the stamp pads with stamps that they've done in the past, because if you're not a person who usually stamps, that's like the first thing where you're like, okay, great, I have stamps. Now what do I use to use them with? So it's cool that they're including it. I'll be very interested to see how nice the ink pads are. For previous subscription boxes, when they've included some ink pads, I haven't necessarily loved the ink. I'm a big VersaFine fan personally. I just love the way that ink lays. It does great with like smaller images and things like that too, so I'll probably use it here. But she just said that it's got like that sepia tone to it, which is really nice. I don't have anything like that, so I'll be excited to get my hands on those and try those out.
Maybe a little gold in there. I'll show you. Does it smell like olive? Do you like it? What is this? So it's, again, kind of hard to see on the video, but it's kind of like this nice sepia, almost goldish tones.
Goes well with the entire box.
I've already tested it out a bunch, but you can reuse these stamps over and over and over it again. And of course, you can get any color ink that you want, but I think this just goes so perfectly with everything here in the box.
That's nice.
And
notebooks.
Probably what everybody else is waiting for, which I'm so excited about too, because again, we've kind of never done anything like these two items.
I just want to say the packaging on this entire box is really beautiful. I love this little addition of like the little ribbon and the gold that's on there. So it's really nice. So excited to see this one. I have a feeling I saw some previews for this. This I think is either, well, there's only two notebooks that I think I saw in previews. There's a spiral bound one, and then there's like a velvety one that we've seen. So curious if this is a bigger or smaller one that we get, which version that's going to be.
But the notebooks, we have two notebooks in this box.
Okay.
And isn't this
look
beautiful?
at that cover design. Love that. So this is going to be the ring bound one. A little bit nervous about, because as a lefty, me and rings don't always play well together, but the stamp that's on the front of this notebook is nice. It's an A-frame wood house. We've got the trees in the background. This is really nice.
Wonderful. And the idea being with the coil binding so it can expand.
Oh.
You can keep filling it up with things like flowers and leaves and ribbon and tape,
cool.
and it can just keep expanding.
That's super nice. I love how all of this has come together. It's interesting that she has these ferns inside, because I actually have ferns that grow outside of my house, and I've always said like super excited to like maybe try to use those in my journal. So that flower press, all of this, I'm liking it. I've got some ideas here.
But look at the end pages. That is my favorite end page we've had in a book before. I love that.
Ooh, like
and
the watercolors.
This one is stock grid.
Awesome. I'm excited about that. The watercolor notebooks that they have are exactly like that with the spiral bound and that. So it's cool to see them as regular notebooks, and love the design on this one. So this other one is people have been like, is it felt? Is it velvet? There's like a ribbon closure that we've seen. So excited to actually see what the front of that one looks like.
And then one that's really
It's really big.
Really special, and it's B5 size.
B5.
And
Ooh.
I'm going to be using this next. It is our absolutely gorgeous velvet notebook.
It is.
And
Oh my gosh, it is velvet. So on the spoilers group, some people were like, please don't let this be velvet. It gives me tingles, but like that's going to be very interesting as a notebook cover. How much hair and stuff is going to get on there. I just know right now I get like dust and dirt and fingerprints on there. So I don't think it'd be like something special maybe to put somewhere, or have to like custom make a cover for it.
Instead of having the stark white pages, it has a little bit of cream paper. So let me try to get a comparison next to our white paper here for you. There you go. So it's just a little bit softer and overall more vintage feel. I
was going to say it has a much more vintage feel to it. This entire box had that very cool, like ornate, kind of old vintagey feel to it with everything that's there. So I think the cream is probably a really good option for this being something special, right? Like if you like to take pictures or do other things with your white notebooks, as most of us like, that's great. But if you're not using this as your daily driver and maybe something nice to write inside of and use, like that has a really nice like warm feel to it. It makes sense that it would be cream.
It has the rose gold gilding
That's
on the
nice.
edges. To me, that's stunning, but one of the best parts about it is the closure is not the band. We don't want to crush the velvet or damage the velvet, although that's pretty sturdy. And it's just this lovely, lovely, lovely deep green. Well, anyway, the closure here is a ribbon, so you tie it closed.
That's nice. But can I tell you that if I tied it closed, how used to I am just like opening my notebooks real quick, that ribbon's going to get ripped out of those little eye holes in no time. Be gentle with this one.
In pages here are very beautifully.
It's interesting. I wonder who the artist was for this one. They've done stuff before with like Mint Gardner where she's included some of her artwork inside of these pages. Like this is a very cool look. Well, obviously you get the same ones on the stickers that we saw, which is really nice as a part of this, but it does have like a really cool, like I'm ready for fall now.
Done illustrations. Okay, so that's the best box yet. Every time it just gets better and better. So please tell me what you think. Tell me if you're going to subscribe. I hope you love it.
I'm already subscribed. It's coming.
I am really excited for you all to start receiving yours.
I'm excited about it. It's different stuff, and I'm down for that. I have enough notebooks, so at this point, as a subscriber for the subscription box, I totally get not needing all of those things. This for me at this point is just something that is a surprise. It's something that's special. I love just getting things that may never see the light of day outside of the subscription box. We've seen that a lot over time with some of those products, and then we've seen the opposite. So when people like really love things like this, we tend to then start to see them kind of out in the public if you're not a subscriber. The wax seals we saw in the previous box, people went crazy over them, and then we got a wax seal kit in the fall release. So it would be interesting to see if they'll do, I have a feeling, definitely out of this box, things I could certainly see come out into the wild would be the letter stamps. Those are really nice. We definitely have seen stamps that started inside of subscription boxes and made it out. It's really nice to see those. It's really nice quality. It reminds me a bit of the watercolor that they came out with in those watercolor boxes. So really nice like that. The notebooks, I'll be interested in seeing more about. Definitely how well the metal bind one holds up. If people really like that, especially people who like to fill their pages with different inserts and things like that. She talked about that expanding, so giving you more space and something different than just the normal bound notebook. So if that does well, it'll be interesting to see if they bring those out, especially since they went from the spiral bound watercolor notebooks and then moved to kind of the normal notebook bound ones recently. So they're kind of going the opposite direction with the notebooks, or at least some specialty ones. And that velvet cover is super nice. I don't know if they would mass produce that often or do something special with it, but it's cool. Definitely fond of like trying different things. That closure is certainly neat. Hopefully it is sturdy. I think that would be my biggest concern. I've had some of my page little markers pop out of the back of those notebooks before, so hopefully these are like on there tight, because if that's how you hold your notebook together and your ribbon comes out easily, you're not going to be a happy camper. So hopefully that looks good, and everything else in there is nice. I don't get too like overwhelmed by like washi anymore, if I'm totally honest with you. The ribbon is cool. I have no need for it, but I think it's definitely neat. And the stickers were cool too. It's just that there's only like a handful of them. I feel like there should be a lot more of those, but they are much larger than the other ones we've seen before, the little flake stickers. So that'll be like a really cool use for like a monthly spread or something like that if you wanted to. So I'm excited to get my subscription box. If you're interested and you're not already a subscriber for it, starting tomorrow on Monday, today is the 4th. So Monday the 5th, you'll be able to start to sign up for the subscription boxes if you haven't before. And just so you know, if you sign up for this subscription box, you automatically get renewed each quarter. So these only come out quarterly, but you can pause them at any time and restart them if you want to. I know a lot of people who do that, especially around the holidays and things like that, but this is very cool. So if you want to get this box, I'll actually put a link for you down in the descriptions below. However, the subscription will not open up until tomorrow. So even if you click on that now, it'll still take you to the website. It'll show you the page for the subscription box, but you won't be able to purchase it just yet. You also can't use discount codes on there. So if you want to support me, you'll use the link in the description below here for yourself, and that'll be super cool. But I'm just excited for this overall. Hopefully you are too, whether you're a subscriber and yours is on the way, or if you are going to be new because you just think this box is the coolest. This is definitely a cool one, especially with that flower press. Like, you're not going to find that in anybody else's subscription box, at least not in the stationery world. So I'm pumped. So I'll go ahead and let you go. Thanks for hanging out with me, checking this out with me today. Very interested to see what you think. So make sure you leave a comment down below and let me know if you are going to get the subscription box. And if you are, what's your favorite item inside of there? Are you just as pumped about the stamps as I am? Are you excited for a totally different type of notebooks we haven't seen before? Let me know. I'll chat with you very soon. Happy planning.